Russia's attempt to invade Ukrainian territory has turned into a major war. The biggest war in Europe since the Second World War is taking place in Ukraine. There are fronts where Ukrainian forces fighting with great confidence against the invading Russian troops have ended the invasion and counterattacked. It is on these fronts that the Ukrainian defense is conducting operations, showing Russian troops the most horrific face of physical and psychological warfare. The Bakhmut region, where the bloodiest clashes have taken place since the beginning of the war. It is one of the regions where Ukraine has launched a counteroffensive. Russian troops suffered heavy losses in the operations organized by the Ukrainian Bakhmut. Ukrainian defense is about to clear the Russian troops from the region with its successful operations. After the latest operation in Bakhmut, Ukrainian troops have cornered the Russian troops. Let's examine the latest situation in the region together. The commander of the Ukrainian ground forces made statements about the latest situation in Bakhmut region. In this statement, he stated that the Ukrainian troops organized a new operation to retake the city of Bakhmut. As a result of the organized operation, he stated that Russian forces were surrendered. It was reported that the Ukrainian forces continued their intense attacks to clear the region completely. In the statements of the commander of the Ukrainian land forces, it was stated that the deployments of Russian troops resemble as an arch concentrated in Bakhmut. Ukrainian General Alexander Syrsky said that Ukrainian forces are in an advantageous position. It was stated that the powerful ammunition used by Ukrainian forces in strategic operations caused heavy losses to Russian forces. Bakhmut was one of the most intense areas of conflicts for months. Ukrainian offensives continue unabated in this region, where both sides have suffered heavy losses. General Alexander Syrsky stated that the Ukrainian forces suffered 10 times less casualties than the Russian forces fighting in the city. Stating that the operational activities of the Russian troops failed, the general said that the Ukrainian forces surrendered the city much more successfully. He emphasized that the complete retaking of city has both symbolic and strategic importance. According to the information from local sources, Ukrainian forces made another 2 kilometers advance on the southern flanks of Bakhmut front. At the same time, Ukrainian forces continue to advance on the northern flank of the front. While Russian forces are reportedly concentrating in the region, Ukrainian attacks are expected to slow down. However, there are different claims about the main reasons for the Russian concentration in the region. According to information we obtained from local sources, the main reason for the concentration of Russian forces in the region is Russia's fear of losing the region. It has been reported that Russian troops have taken actions such as disarmament and withdrawal due to the gradual decline of Russia's power in the region. Local sources reported that Russian troops wanted to correct the setbacks they experienced due to the loss of combat discipline. For this reason, Russian troops are expected to mass on Bakhmut front. However, Ukrainian forces state that this buildup will only prolong this process. Stating that it wants to achieve absolute victory in Bakhmut region, Ukrainian forces have announced that they will continue their counteroffensive operations in a decisive manner. Ukrainian military officials reported that Ukrainian forces continue to advance in the direction of Berdyansk and Melitopol. It was also stated that progress south of Kharkiv is exceeding 100 meters per day. Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak stated that Ukraine's counterattack will be slowed and difficult, but the Russian forces will be cleared. Russia's unsuccessful course in the war is causing it to take different actions. Russia continues to disregard civilian safety and food security. The director of the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency made statements on this issue. The U.S. officials announced that Russia is planning to organize a false flag operation in the Black Sea. Bill Burns did not give much detail in his statements, but he said that the Russians are considering false flag operations on the roads around the war zone, which they have already mentioned before. He said that the Russian leadership is exploring how to attack transport ships in the Black Sea and is looking for an excuse to blame Ukraine. Many countries are reacting to Russia's stance on this issue. Russia's aggressive behavior affects the food security of millions of people, but Moscow ignores these humanitarian situations. Ukrainian forces, which are on high alert about Russia's planned activities, are constantly conducting surveillance with advanced technological means. Ukrainian forces' intelligence activities and information gathering capabilities have proven successful since the beginning of the war. While it is stated that Russian forces are weakened in the field of logistics and intelligence, it is not known what they will do after the false flag operations is revealed. It is known that Moscow has been intensively producing disinformation since the beginning of the war. For this reason, Ukrainian intelligence is constantly working to prevent a possible Russian attack. In this statement made by the Ukrainian armed forces, it was stated that the Ukrainian troops are working to ensure security in the region in case of a possible sabotage or attack. The tools used by the Ukrainian armed forces makes the coordination of the troops in the region significantly advantageous. Ukraine has the advantage of a rapid intervention thanks to its ability to establish uninterrupted and fast communication between its troops in the region. Another one of Russia's plans to approach Ukraine's port has been exposed. U.S. Ambassador Thomas Greenfield announced that the Russian military is planning to lay undersea mines in order to organize attacks against civilian ships. According to the information obtained from intelligence reports, it has been revealed that Russia is planning to carry out landmine activities to justify the attacks it will organize around the Ukrainian ports and to make Ukraine look guilty. U.S. Ambassador Thomas Greenfield said that Russia was destabilizing world peace and called on Moscow to abandon these sabotages for the good of humanity. Russia has not commented on these allegations. The Russian authorities believe that in order to establish peace and tranquility in the Black Sea, Russia needs an agreement in line with Russia's interests. For this reason, Russia does not hesitate to target civilian cargo ships and civilian settlements at the expense of Russia's interest. Russia is expected to face greater sanctions for this aggressive behavior. Do you think Ukrainian troops will be able to completely clear Russian troops from the Bakhmut front? What do you think about the successful operations of Ukrainian troops on the front where they counterattacked? What do you think about the sabotage activities planned by Russia in the Black Sea? How do you think the aggressive behavior of Russian leadership affects the peace in the Black Sea region? What does Russia aim to achieve with the false flag operation? How do you think the increased sanctions against Russia will affect the Russian people? We care about your opinion. Please share it with us.